Hello and welcome to another episode of British Carping. Today you join me at Manor Farm Leisure on Ashpool on peg 10, and today I'm going to pretty much show you how I like to approach a style lake like this for F1's at the beginning of spring. It's the 11th or 12th of March today, so last week you probably would have known that we had heavy snow. In some parts of the country it was up to 1 foot, 2 foot. Temperatures were right down to about in some areas again -10. All that snow is gone now, but that causes another problem because all that snow is now melted into the lakes and the water temperature is absolutely freezing. But for the last week the temperatures have risen up to about, close to double figures, up to about 9-10 degrees, and the water temperatures has slightly increased. So it really is starting to get into spring now. I've already had an F1 and foul hooked a skimmer. I've had an F1, a skimmer, and foul hooked another skimmer on a straight lead. So I'm already into a few fish. So I'm going to get straight back out now, fishing, expand the pellet on the hook, feeding 4 micros and a few expanders to get them used to the hook bait. I'm going to get straight back out now, try and catch a few more, and then I'll show you my rigs and baits in a little bit once I've caught a few fish. I've got 3 lines today, well technically 4, but I'm only really fishing 3. I've got 2 30-metre pole lines, one in line with an aerator and one in line with one of the aerator floats. So one straight in front of me and one slightly to the right. Reason I've plumbed up 2 30-metre lines is just in case one of them dies, it allows me to alternate between the both. And then I've got a short, well not really short, but a mid 11-metre line, just because towards the end of the day the fish tend to start feeding a little bit closer in. And then I started out on a straight lead, just trying to get the odd fish while I fed me pole lines. And as I said, all I could get off that was a foul hooked a skimmer. So I'm just going to start on I've started on my 30-metre line straight in front of me, and as I said, I've had a skimmer and an F1. So we might just be able to put a couple of fish together if we feed correctly. And there we go. And it's an F1 one. Feels things. Bit of a strange bite. No, it's a skimmer, I think. Oh no, feels like an F1, might be a small one. Yeah, small F1. Oh, at least we're catching a few fish. Anyway, so we're definitely start to come into spring. Now, just a little tip, every time I put in on venues like this, Manor Farm, where the fish really do respond well to pellets, and on commercials like this, it's very important when the fish are starting to get on the feed again to keep being active basically. So every time I put in, I drop the rig in, feed about 5 4mm pellets over the top, and I lift the rig up, lower it in so it looks like it's just gone in as a free bait, a free offering, and then every 30 seconds to a minute, not even that really, I'll say every a minute and a half, just lift and lower the rig in and out of the water, keep being active, keep on trying to tempt the fish into taking the hook bait. If you keep on lifting and lowering the rig in and out of the water every minute, 2 minutes, it just makes the hook bait look like it's gone in as a free offering. That really just tempt the fish and take the hook bait. That's another F1 straight away. So I've got a few fish lined up now, but it's very important, especially in a match situation, to keep active, keep the fish in the swim, so you can keep on catching fish and keep on building up your weight. As soon as you stop feeding, the fish will just move on. So it's very important to keep active. This feels like another decent F1. Just going to let the elastic out a bit. Don't want to pull the hook. Yep, another F1. So I've got the fish under control. Nothing's going to happen to him. He's in the net. Just going to put a few more 4mm pellets out just to keep the fish in the swim. It's not as important when you're pleasure fishing, but in a match, if you've stopped feeding for up to 30 seconds to a minute, the fish will move on. Oh, right, so I've had a few fish now. I think I've had about 6 F1s and 2 skimmers, but foul hooked one, so technically only one. Just going to show you the rigs I'm using today and my bait and my general approach basically. Starting with the line I've actually been catching the most fish on, my aerator 13-metre line, or my in front 30-metre line straight in front of me. Starting with the elastic, I'm using an 11 Maver elastic, going down to a Guru Dacron connector, down to a 0.5 AS free float. The reason it's 0.5 is because I'm fishing in about 6 foot of depth, so a 0.5 float, 0.5 AS free float, perfect for that depth. Nice and sensitive for your silvers and also for your finicky F1s, but you can also use it for the carp, and you can use it with a variety of baits, natural baits, or you can do what I'm doing today, which is fishing with a pellet. It's a very, very good all-round versatile float. That's going down to a bulk of number 8 stots, 3 number 8s, 1 number 10. That cocks the float perfectly and dots it right down, because the fish today are feeding very finicky and the bites are really sensitive. So I've dotted the float right down to a millimetre so I can see those bites. Main line is 0.13, going down to 0.11 hook length. Just above the hook length, I've got a loosely strung bulk of number 10 stots. When I say loosely strung, there's about half a millimetre gap between each stot. This allows the hook bait to fall through the water naturally, but also get to the bottom as quickly as possible, because today it's quite obvious to me, I haven't foul hooked any fish except from that skimmer. And the fish haven't been showing any signs in the shallow layer, so the fish are feeding hard on the bottom. So I want the hook bait to get to the bottom as quickly as possible, because that's where the fish are feeding. And a size 16 B9 level hook, perfect for silvers, F1s, and mid-sized carp. You could easily get a 20-pound carp in with this hook, but it is kind of a medium strength hook, is what I like to call it. My other 30-metre line, exactly the same rig, just as different depth. So I'm not going to show you that rig, exactly the same setup there. And then my other pole line is my 11-metre mid-range pole line straight in front. I'm using a slightly lighter elastic because it's closer in. I don't need as much security. I want a nice soft elastic to allow the fish to move out the swim as naturally as possible. And also, this is going to be my all-round line. I've fed a few more micros on this line. And this is just basically a backup line for skimmers and also it will draw the F1's in as well. And green Maver elastic. Preston Dacron, going down to a 0.4 AS free float this time because I'm fishing in a little bit shallower depth. Small small free number 8 bulk shot just below the float. That perfectly cocks the float, again dots it down to a millimetre. 0.13 main line to 0.11 hook length. Small, loosely strung bulk number 10s just above the hook length, does exactly the same thing as the previous rig, gets the hook bait to the bottom quickly but naturally. 0.11 hook length as I just said, and a size 16 B911 hook. Those bait today, very simple, gone for the all-out pellet approach. Micros 4mm and 6mm, feeding mostly micros and 4mm with the odd 6mm just to get them used to seeing the hook bait. And also my main hook bait I'm using today is the Drennan Yum Yum Crab and Krill 6mm expanders. Very, very simple approach for this time of year. In fact, it's very similar to what I use in the summer anyway, it's just scaled down. Normally I'll fish a 0.15 to a 0.13 or even a 0.16 to a 0.15 or 14. But this time of year, the fish is still feeding quite finicky, so just scaled everything down, slightly lighter elastics, lighter mainline, lighter hook length materials and slightly smaller hooks as well. Yeah, very, very simple approach, and on this venue it works very well. So I'm going to get back to fishing now, go back over to my 13-metre front line, and then keep on alternating and try and catch as many fish as possible. See you in a bit. Right, that'll be my last fish of the day, about 2-3 pound. Let's slip it straight back. Hope you enjoy the video and stay tuned for the next one. Thank you.
I'm sick and tired, I should go